New polling shows it is more popular than ever, especially in key battleground states. Global Strategy Group finds 81% of voters in battlegrounds support paid family, parental, and medical leave for U.S. workers. That's a double-digit jump in support for the issue. Joining me now, Dawn Huckelbridge, Director of Paid Leave for All. Dawn, let's dig into this polling because it shows when Republican candidates who oppose paid leave go up against a Democrat who supports it, the Democrat wins by double digits, 14 points, according to this poll. What about now, about this moment, has made this issue so popular and so motivating?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And absolutely right. There has always been strong support, and I will say strong bipartisan support for paid family medical leave. But those numbers are higher than they've ever been. The urgency is higher than it's ever been. And as you said, in the months since Roe v. Wade was overturned, in Senate midterm battleground states, we've seen support grow by double digits and intensity grow too. And because there's so much at stake, so much is on the ballot. Abortion rights, the family care agenda, our shot to finally pass this country's first paid leave policy, and people want it. It was interesting, actually, that not only is the support high with independents and Republicans, more than 2/3, as you said, but in a toss-up in these states, candidates who opposed both abortion rights and paid leave took a double hit. They gave their opponent a 35-point edge overall and a stunning 56-point edge with suburban women. So I think voters are fed up, women voters in particular. I think this is an issue that motivates and activates women across the political spectrum. And as we've seen across the country, they're registering in record numbers, and this could tip the scales this November.
It's so interesting, that point about when you marry those two issues, how voters see the internal inconsistency of forcing a person to carry a pregnancy to term, but then not providing the type of leave that would allow them to actually care for that child, care for that family. I also found it interesting in this polling by Global Strategy Group how voters want paid family leave, paid leave paid for. 70% support closing tax loopholes for major businesses. 69% support contributing their own funding through an employer. 65% support raising taxes on the wealthiest Americans. I think this is sort of a change in the way that these questions are now asked, right? Which is not only do you want this, but how do you propose we get there? What did these numbers tell you?
I think what they showed is that voters want this in a variety of ways. There are different models for how we pay for it. The one thing we did take away is that they do not want to have to trade other benefits to provide for their families and have paid family and medical leave. So there are some proposals on the table that I often say are not paid nor leave that, for instance, might take away from Social Security. And that is not a sustainable solution. That's not something that helps working families.